Peru's interim president, José Jerí, has declared a 30-day state of emergency for the capital, Lima. It allows the government to send the army to patrol the streets and to restrict freedom of assembly. The move comes after weeks of widespread protests that have turned violent at times. Demonstrators were demanding an end to corruption and organized crime in the country. In recent years, Peru has seen a spate of killings, violent extortion, and attacks on public places. Jerí's predecessor, Dina Boluarte, was removed from office after an impeachment process in which lawmakers said that she'd failed to tackle the crime wave. I'm joined by journalist Simeon Tegel in Peru's capital, Lima. Simeon, interim President Jerí says he's moving from defense to offense now. What exactly can we expect to happen?
So, first of all, the details of the state of emergency, they haven't really been laid out yet, but there will be soldiers patrolling the streets, accompanying police. There's going to be tougher conditions in prisons. The government says that a lot of the crime, extortion is directed from prisons. Independent experts disagree with that. They say less than 1% of crimes are orchestrated from prison. But the rest of it really has to be worked out. The government has said that it'll be up to the police to decide exactly where in Lima. Lima's a city of 10 million people, by the way. Where in Lima there will be curfews, there will be raids, where the state of emergency will be more focused. But there's a lot of skepticism here in Peru about this. We've had localized states of emergency for several years now from the government in response to rising violent crime. They haven't worked, and critics dismiss it as an outdated, authoritarian approach to policing that is not a substitute for intelligence, so prevention and detective work, that kind of thing.
Now, these protesters, many of them are very young. They're Gen Z. They're demanding an end to violent organized crime in Peru. How much is the government really tackling the problem?
Well, I mean, they would argue, and a lot of independent experts would agree with them, that the government isn't tackling the problem. And not just that, the government is actually making the problem worse. José Jerí became president interim president because he was Speaker of Congress. He represents Congress. Congress has a disapproval rating of almost 90% here in Peru, and it has that disapproval rating for many reasons, but the Congress has been one ethical scandal after another, but also Congress has passed laws that many consider actually favor organized crime. Two examples are that now, when police want to raid a criminal suspect's home, the defense attorney has to be present. In other words, the suspect now may have potentially hours to dispose of evidence, flush it down the toilet, that kind of thing, while they wait for their defense attorney to arrive before the police can actually enter the property. And another one is related to illegal mining. This Congress has removed the police's powers to seize unlicensed explosives, which are widely used in illegal mining here, which is illegal gold mining, which is a huge industry, much more lucrative than the cocaine trade. And Peru is the world's second producer of cocaine.
Simeon, these protests have been going on for weeks now. The government is trying to stop them. Briefly, if you can, do you think that this state of emergency will succeed in stopping the protest movement?
So, first off, in theory, the state of emergency is to stop the crime wave, not the protests. But, I mean, what you just said, that's the way everyone in Peru is seeing it, that the real purpose is to stop the protests. Basically, large public gatherings will require written permits from the government, and that would obviously include protests. I think, on the one hand, the sense here of anger and fury and rejection from the public towards both Congress but also this new government is just so deep and profound. That's not going away anytime soon. The degree to which that continues to manifest itself in public protests is a different question, partly because now possibly public protests are about to be outlawed, at least temporarily, but also the violence that security forces have used here, going back several years now, against protesters. So a lot of people feel intimidated. They're scared to protest. So it's a complex situation, but certainly the political problem, which is the root cause of all this, that's not going away anytime soon.
And we'll keep following the story. Simeon Tegel, thank you for your insights.
Thank you.